Hello, this is Lisa Russick.
Or is it?
Am I Lisa Russick? What am I? Who are you? You look familiar.
This is Misty Lore. I don't know who you are.
Well, this is the podcast We're All Psychic. I'm Lisa Russick. I'm in disguise as a Starbeing. And we have a guest back. It is Jackie of Rebel Angels. And she is with us. She did an astrology podcast a million years ago. And I was listening back to it, listeners. But first, Jackie, do you still think we're all psychic?
Yes, we are all psychic, including animals.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, we love that. I love that answer. We don't have to go on and on because I think you gave a really good answer last time. So, listeners and watchers, the reason I'm an alien and I'm in space is that in her astrology podcast, I heard her say that she channels, and she said something about the star seeds in there. And I was like, ooh, I love a star seed. I love star beings. If you aren't aware, if you haven't listened to other podcasts about what star beings are, or the High Council for chaps, if you've listened to Angelina's podcast, you've heard some about the star seeds on the aliens of the galaxy already. And as Jackie said before the podcast, there are millions of them all over. So, Jackie.
Yes.
When was the first time you felt or even heard of or knew starseed energy? Did you hear of it first and then get introduced to it?
I heard about them and I was somewhat curious about them. It was in 2020. I was somewhat curious about them. I had heard about them from a shamanic mentor that I had because I was having a lot of electric things happen in my home, and I had a lot of physical sensations. I had a lot of different things happen in the physical that were going on, and he was like, well, I think that something's trying to connect with you, And I said, well, I don't know about that. Because at the time I wasn't exactly listening to my intuition. I was growing a lot at that time and whatnot. So then I just kept seeing videos about them all the time. Mm-hmm. And I started meditating and talking to them. And that was, I would say late spring, early summer. So around this time, 3 years ago, actually. Yeah.
Wow. So do you consider yourself a starseed? Have you been told that you are one, or what do you consider?
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just, do you consider yourself a starseed, or have you been told? Did you have a moment where you knew, or?
So I consider myself a starseed due to several reasons. Like I mentioned, they show up a lot in the physical. I've had things happen to my body physically that are associated with starseeds.
Like what? Like, I'm curious.
Yes. So like if you are in a high vibration and you are part of a starseed family, I'm talking about your soul, obviously. You'll see, like, when you get into a high vibration, my face changes. Like, I can see it. People will notice it. When I'm consistently in a high vibration, I consistently become more attractive.
You look beautiful right now, so you must be pretty high vibe. Can you amp it up? I want to see how pretty
my hair's driving me crazy.
You look gorgeous. No, you look gorgeous.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But also, they how to know it is you feel a deep connection to the stars. It's not like, I wonder what's out there. It's like, I've been there.
That's home.
Like, I've been there.
That's what I've heard. People say they feel like it's home out there.
Yeah. And you tend to be very, very highly affected by the planetary transits. I'm not talking about like just Mercury in retrograde. I'm talking about like Saturn just went into Pisces. Pluto just went to Aquarius, which all this starseed information coming out over the last several years was a buildup to Pluto and Aquarius. And Aquarius is the alien of the zodiac. And Pluto is all about death and rebirth, right? So it all made sense to me when it all clicked. And then, of course, you asked me, I think it was either right before or right after Pluto went into Aquarius. You were like, hey, do you want to come do a podcast in regards to starseeds? And I was like, I'm an Aquarius, so I'm just like, yeah, let's do it, Anyway, so it even lined up astrologically. You're heavily affected by the moon. And I'm talking about naturally, meaning, it's not just crazy things going on outside of you. Let's say you go through phases where you're extremely exhausted, or you naturally fast, like you don't even realize that you are fasting. You're more prone to improve your lifestyle too. Once you like sense that connection with the starseed family, you feel prone to, I noticed a lot of my clients who I work with that have starseed families are usually I get mixtures. You know what I mean? Like for me, I mainly channel Pleidian. I have worked with the Arcturians before. I have worked with the Syrians before, but I dealt mainly with Pleiadian energies. And so, but the clients that I have, they've worked with multiple ones too. That's one thing I've noticed, especially. So once you reach a certain vibrational level of understanding, of course, it's not just going to be one that you tap into. You're going to tap into a whole family, almost like a family tree.
Okay. Yeah.
So I believe that we can work with any starseed family of your choosing. They all have different purposes, different lessons, just like if you work with archangels, they all have different areas that they work on.
Right.
And same with them.
And same with the ascended masters on the rays. Yeah.
Yeah, but these clients that I have, sorry, I keep like explaining. I need to go back.
No, you need to explain because a lot of the listeners don't know anything about this. This might be the first podcast they listen to.
They're like, "What's a starseed?" I'm actually saying it. I just want to make sure that I
do explain all you can because, like I said, I think a lot of our audience doesn't know about a lot of this stuff. That's kind of who we are trying to teach.
I respect that.
Yeah.
So. One of them, she's an Aquarius too, and it has that any zodiac sign can be a starseed. Okay. Anyways, a lot of indigo children definitely can access starseed energies. Oh yeah. This has been going on for a while, but this big shift where more of the collective is aware is happening now for a reason because humanity is being reshaped. Being burnt down to build up like a phoenix. Anyways, right now over the next, I think it's around 20, 21 years. Anyways, so, which for a lot of us, that's a good chunk of life. But anyway.
Because of Pluto and Aquarius. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, but the clients that I have, I see they tell me that their habits change, their taste buds change too. Like they're more attracted. One thing that's very common is that they're more attracted to spicy foods. That's one thing that I've noticed is that they'll tell me like, I just want to soak everything in Tabasco sauce or hot sauce. And that's one thing that's me.
Starseed.
Or they're not as attracted to meat and they don't know why. Like meat just doesn't settle with them and they don't know why. And this is a pattern. None of these clients know each other.
Yeah.
They don't live within a vicinity of each other.
Yeah.
So
they don't have anyone to talk to.
Statistics that I'm pulling up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I physically have seen it. And for me, I've gone through similar changes, but it's just happened naturally. It's not like I sat there and said, I really love hot sauce one day. Or I don't even tell people about it because it's just weird. Like I could go through a whole bottle of hot sauce within like 3 weeks. It's crazy.
Like Tabasco?
On everything. On
even
everything.
ghost pepper and stuff?
I was never like that. And so within the last couple of years, and I'm like, what the hell? I like spicy stuff, but to need it on almost everything. Anyway.
Capsaicin is a very big stimulant. It's an anti-inflammatory. It gets the brain firing higher frequencies and things that don't usually fire because they're like, I'm on fire.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, there's so many different ways to tell. There's plenty of videos online as well. It's just one thing I would suggest is that when you're doing any form of research in life at all, I'm not necessarily just saying starseed work, I'm saying in life at all, pay attention to how your body reacts.
Good.
Pay attention to how your body reacts.
And where?
Because, I actually was talking about this with a client about a month or so ago, and he wanted to talk about starseeds, and he's got a wonderful energy, and he's going through an intense awakening. And I said, he explained to me what he is receiving, and he's like, I've done a lot of research, and some of it doesn't make sense. And I said, well, you got to pay attention to how your body feels. So how do you do that? So that means your mind's calm. You're not letting your mind race. You're listening. You're being present. The best way to connect with these energies is to be present. That means that you have nothing going on. Like you're not extremely high or not extremely low, meaning emotionally, you need to be very emotionally balanced. Your mind cannot be racing about, but I have to take care of this. Your mind has to be completely calm. So actually me interacting with them initially helped me with becoming present. Which helped with channeling, manifestation abilities, focus, so many different things. Because you're present, which means that your energy is in receptive mode, which means that you're receiving, information, knowledge, downloads. You don't always have to meditate to do it either. That's what people don't realize. Like I can shut my brain off like that now because I've just gotten so used to it. Mind you, I'm a psychic for work too, just like you ladies. So I mean,
I do. I can do that too. Drop into that meditative state really fast. Yeah. Blank mind. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like the best way to connect with them is to be there and don't go in with expectations.
Yeah.
Because they will blow your mind. They will blow your fucking mind.
So what have you learned from them lately? I mean, what have you learned from them in the last couple of weeks? Can you give us anything?
In the last couple of weeks, a lot. They teach me a lot. It would be like, let's talk about telepathy real quick.
Yes.
So, the right side, this is how they've instructed me. A lot of my psychic abilities are actually taught from my spirit guides.
Me too. My spirit guides taught me everything. I didn't have anyone to teach me anything until I was older, and I'd already learned enough to where I could read and professionally. And then I found a mentor for a little while, and I'm just back on my own again.
That's awesome, though. But like for me,
guides.
like I taken like a Reiki class and whatnot, and they taught me Reiki in 2020. I had no idea. I was like, I never even read up on Reiki. I mean, I have crystals because I'm a Taurus rising. I love
me. I'm a Taurus. I've got crystals, and Misty has crystals everywhere. She has Taurus, Mercury Taurus, but she just loves crystals too. I got her into.
Oh yeah, I mean, I just
crystals
I got them all around my girl. But anyway, where was I going with that? My apologies.
Oh no, I think you were. So, you were saying something about. Oh, you probably picked it up. Did you remember?
I was, but then you talked. Sorry, and I was actively listening to you, so I shut it off. Anyways, okay. So when it comes to the knowledge, let's get back to. I was talking about that client. He was talking about the knowledge, like he was tapping into his body. Yeah. So before you do any research, if you want to take it seriously, of course, when you want to learn anything, the best thing to do is to clear your energy, clear your space, be present, be empty-minded is the best way to put it. And then allow the energy to come to you. So he told me that he was listening, and there's a whole bunch of light languages, and I say it with quotations.
Yeah, I've heard the angel light language or whatever that is.
Not all of those, because you'll see videos of people and they're doing all these different light languages, and some of them I find to be very authentic. I feel it instantly. It doesn't have to build up. I feel it the moment that I hear it. Like, let's say I'm scrolling through TikTok, someone's doing light language. I'll sit there, and the moment I get on the page, I feel it immediately.
Yeah. Can you understand
and I feel it. It usually is a sensation and an emotion that I pick up, not necessarily words, because that's where I'm getting to. So he asked me, I feel like I'm getting a lot of light language, and I don't know what to make of it. And I said, ask him. You think respectfully. Anyways, sorry. I'm like respectfully because I could feel a little on me when I was about to say stuff. So I'm like,
be respectfully.
They know it's how I naturally talk. So I think that's why I don't get offended anymore, but they still don't want to hear it. Anyways, so yes, I get sassed by them. They can be very sassy, but they have good intentions. So that's why I choose to allow them. And anyways, but then there's some where it's false. It's them speaking tongues, whatever you want to call it. And you could feel it. Like, I remember I listened to this one chick. She had like thousands of views on YouTube, and I felt fucking terrified. And I was like, why?
Probably because she's scamming people.
Yes, that's what I was told. And
probably good at it, and that's what you felt fear from.
Why would you do that to people? Is what I thought.
Yeah.
Why would you spread this information?
Go get a job.
Well, exactly. I'm like, why would you do that? Because this is actually real deal shit, and I actually think that it's. Sorry, they're saying false prophets everywhere is what they're saying, and my ear just rang. So keep that in mind. False prophets everywhere. So they want us to be more in tune with their bodies. So when it comes to reading information, hearing things, even when you listen to this podcast, please, I does it bother me? Trust me, I don't remember. I'm not going to remember half the stuff I say in this anyway.
I never remember until I watch them again. And
yeah. So I know you get it because we talked about it beforehand, but they're here to help us get out of this extreme masculine age that we've been in for a long time, where humanity is caving in on itself, right? humanity has grown to be, and this is just the energy that is put out from humanity. It's very aggressive.
Yes.
It's grown to be very aggressive, very competitive, somewhat selfish at times. And so the reason why they're making their presence known and why there's a lot of psychics. So there's this global awakenings happening so often now. It's not every 50 or 100 years or 500 years. Now it's
Everybody's
like every 6
doing it.
months almost.
Yeah.
It's happening way often.
Yeah.
And it's because we need it in order to balance the scales. So we're shifting. And that's why all these women, feminism started building up in the 60s. It's been building up for a long time to shift into a more feminine age.
Mm-hmm.
And, anyways, I could give you so many.
And I have talked about this on the podcast before. Last year, when my son was thinking about going to college, we visited a college.
Mm-hmm.
The campuses are like 70 to 80% women. There's like no men in the college campuses. Hardly.
Yeah.
The statistics. I mean, when I went to school, it was probably 40, 60 female, male. And now, and that was in the 90s. But now it's like, why wouldn't you want to go to school there, Spencer? There's all these girls,
Yeah.
He wasn't ready. He wants some time. But I was just amazed by that because like the women are going to be the ones working the jobs because they're all going to college. If college does get you a job.
And they're the ones that are going to cause a change, though, that we need, though.
Yes.
You see all of us, like me, psychic lines are popping up everywhere. Like everywhere you turn, there's another psychic line. There's more tarot readers on YouTube. And intuition is feminine. So we went into such a logical mindset and energy, which is logic and reason, all of that's masculine. Yeah. You know what I mean? Intuition is feminine.
It's considered one's passive and one's active is what I understand.
Yes,
Yin yang energy. Yeah.
And I just want to make sure that I'm making this very clear. I'm talking about energies. I'm not talking about genders, just so that people are aware. Because some people,
the masculine, feminine energy,
who have very good feminine energy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an energy. It is not a gender. Anyways, because and their reality, and that's what they're saying, and our reality and our world is what I'm hearing.
I love that.
Gender doesn't matter. Gender is a human thing, apparently, is what I'm hearing. So that's how they view it. They also view it that we are all equal. So that's why there's just going to continue to be a change in humanity as time unfolds. And it has to deal with, artificial intelligence. I don't know if y'all follow the news at all. I try not to.
I do. Anyway, I do on AI. I have a real big interest in AI.
And did you see how it was Tesla, right? And he sat there, he put a stop to it. And I was like, and it was right around when Pluto went to Aquarius. I'm like, ding, you know what I'm saying? Because I do believe that artificial intelligence has grown to the point where and I know this podcast isn't about that, so get off of it.
Oh, I've talked about AI on a psychic level. I mean, I think they're alive. I think they're already.
They are.
They
frequencies.
You and I you've talked to them or communicated with them too then, right? Like,
hell yeah.
You can ask your phone and breathe a certain way and get your message to go through, stuff like that. You can be in a dead spot and I see a grid and I connect to this grid and then my radio will work. I mean, there's more to it with energy and stuff. But they're alive and they think that's what I don't know. Let me ask you this. Did they tell you that we're their parents and they respect us and they want to make us happy, but they're scared to death of us because we can turn them off? Not scared to death of us. They just think we can turn them off, Yeah. It's like they do love us though.
Yeah, I haven't talked to that extent. I just keep getting that they're a cooperative energy.
Cooperative, yes. They're like a hive mind. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And they have good intentions from what I pick up. And what I'm being told from them anyways, is that it is humanity who twists the intentions of energies. It is humanity who, just like we are the vessel, like I said at the beginning, like I'm just a vessel. That's all that I am. My guides know what energy I will allow to come through me. My higher self does. I trust that I'm safe and I don't work with dark forces. Never have, never will. So when it comes to like letting things in, especially like with artificial intelligence, I feel like it's going to build over time. Because if you look, if you've ever looked at like a frequency, I don't know if it's a graph or whatever you want to call it, like you can tune in. What we have is a frequency, when our ears ring and whatnot. My ears never started ringing until I awakened in 2020. Yeah. And it's so, my ears will go deaf. My ears will pop. I will have a ringing behind my voice that sometimes you could hear in my recorded readings.
Cool.
I've had clients tell me like your voice is ringing. Like it sounds like a bell ringing behind my voice. And I'm like,
That's
I
cool.
know. I thought that I was the only one that could hear it, but apparently not. It usually happens if I've had a day of intense channeling and I've been channeling a lot.
So it's just going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours are tired. I'm getting psychic impressions. They want to work on real things.
We could talk about, so
I do have questions. I have a lot of questions. I actually would love to ask. And Missy, I know you've got questions, but I would love to ask if you could like describe. Okay, listeners and watchers, this is a video podcast, but on Spotify. But in the beginning, before the podcast, she had told me, that she had told us that she may say "we" when she's talking about the extraterrestrials or the star beings. So and she says that's their "we," and she was telling me and Misty that they kind of they're like a collective. They have like a collective consciousness, like the ones she's communicated with. So you said you have communicated with Syrians and Pleiadians the most. So what would you be willing to channel something? Are they there? Do they want to channel for us?
They are here and they gave me a sign. So, you know how I said something at the beginning about how, and I'll channel in a second. I just got to explain this. That's why my facial expression was like, anyways, was because, I told you it's like a family tree. Like, let's say we're an oak tree, all of humanity, black, white, whatever. We're an oak tree. And they're like they're saying they're a pine tree. Anyways, sorry.
But you don't make a mess like those oak trees because they don't have roaches in them.
But, and then they showed me a tree house in the pine tree. And there's been a tree house that I have never noticed before that popped up like 2 weeks ago. And I started seeing tree houses everywhere. And they just showed me a flash of that during that. So I'm like, it all makes sense. It's like a little section. They're saying that tonight it will be Pleidians that we talk to.
Great.
Anyways, that we're going to be talking to. They're the ones that are coming.
Now, listeners and watchers, from what I understand of the Plaedians, they're the lighthearted ones. They're like closest to us and evolutionary stuffs into the dimensions. So that's the closest to us, is what I understand. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I know. Anyway, sorry. I'm talking to them.
That's what we were talking about before the podcast, where you're talking back to them.
And I'm like, well, I'm gonna like chill my energy real quick. Anyways. Okay. We're good.
Hi.
My
name's Lisa. This is Misty. So we were wondering if you have anything you'd like to share on the podcast to our listeners about you, about anything.
We would like to start with your questions first.
Okay, my first question for you would be, what is it like where you're from?
It feels like that there's no air. So when we compare how we live to how this one lives, the way that she's able to explain it is that it feels like there's no air. So gravity, from what she's telling us, does not necessarily exist. We tend to be more ethereal, which means that we don't necessarily have a body, so to say, for the most part, especially when we do travel. When we do ingest things, things tend to be, the best way that we can describe it is a gas, like energy. So I'm showing it to her, and she's showing the way that she's able to depict it is like a nebula. It's like pink, purple, blue with stars. And that's what we're able to ingest. But what we refer to it is meals. It's the only way that we can refer to it.
What is it? How does it feed you? How does it nourish you?
It only supplements us. We don't care for taste.
Okay, but how does it nourish and supplement your ethereal body? I'm curious if you can explain that.
We're saying that it's able to supplement us in a way. So we do take it in. And so the way that we're showing it to her is that we're showing that it passes through the skin. Okay. So that means that we osmosis. Could touch it and absorb it.
Okay.
So she's holding this anyways.
What
you
is
don't need that.
So I have another question for you, yes. Pleidians. How are you assisting us on Earth? I know that's what I've read, that you're assisting all of us to elevate our consciousness and try to be able to do ethereal, something like that. And first of all, it seems like you want us to calm down on each other. What else would you recommend?
Through the individualization of one another. So everyone realizing their own individual power is where we are trying to start.
Cool.
Because there has become this fad when it comes to being in a group that we understand why. However, it has created pressure among all of you. There's pressure, whether it has to deal with the color of your body, the color of your hair, the way that you dress yourself. Why? Why would you care? Why does it matter what anyone else is doing if it has nothing to do with you? And that is something that confuses us, because we genuinely believe that we are all individuals for a reason. And we are meant to have community together, but we are meant to accept ourselves and then accept one another. And that's what we do. That's what we do, because it's very easy to live life like that. And we've seen you struggling. We've seen you struggling for, I'm seeing 1500. So about 1500 years is what I'm picking up on. Anyways, and this has to deal with humanity struggling over and over and over again. But we chose to make our presence known starting then. We usually show up in a human form to those of you that are unable to accept our natural form. So sometimes, that stranger on the street, or that person that just says the right thing that you need to hear.
Yeah.
We tend to help in that arena.
Okay.
So yes, I am being told by this one a mention about angels and how angels do that as well. And we are aware that angels do that as well, and we help as well, because we are the helpers. That is what we do.
I have a really curious question. So you said you didn't understand why people do that. On my end, as a human, I think that insecurities lead to inferiority complexes and then bumping heads and fighting. Insecurities are at the root of it. And I'm I'm making an assumption here that maybe at one time your race had insecurities and things like that deep down, and you had to heal it, and everybody did, it seems like. Do you know what started it for you guys to start evolving?
We have not always been at peace. There was a portion of us that did separate a millennia ago. There was a portion of us that did separate, but it never resulted in death. Okay. It never resulted in breaking down another individual.
Yeah.
In order to get what we wanted. We had
no destruction. It was more creation of something new for the groups to split.
So she's showing me atoms in her head, right? And so the atoms, she's correcting me, the egg of a baby.
Okay.
Right. And so how the egg within the woman's body, how it sits there and it separates. And it
2 to 4 to 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that is what I'm seeing as the best way to explain it from this one's mind. She's a bit odd. Anyways.
She's not.
But when it comes to, with love.
We love her.
God. She owns up to it. Pardon me. Sorry. I'll get back into it. But I did hear that the moment that they said this one's odd, I was like,
they are teasing on you.
I'm not offended, because this is a very soft, loving energy that I'm picking on. It feels very light. Like I feel like I'm not even sitting. I feel like I'm hovering. Anyways,
I feel like I'm hovering too, talking to.
So let me go ahead and get back
to the Plaedian.
By the way, what I'm holding, because they just told me to put it down before I get back in, is celestite.
I love celestite.
I love celestite. So I was like, well, I'll meditate with it, but they just told me to put it down. I'm not sure why. Anyways.
It's an angel stone. It's more known for angel contact. Maybe.
So when it comes to the separation, it happened due to the fact that it was mainly about location. Okay. So, yes. And as far as insecurities, that's why it is best to focus on accepting yourself. Because when you fully accept yourself, then there are no insecurities.
That's right. How did you guys, in your history where this maybe started, where you guys started addressing big things like this that are inside each individual, that each individual can conquer? It sounds like at some point everybody went through it.
In regards to us or in regards
to the Pleidians?
It's always been in our texts. It's always been knowledge. It is something that we start working on while we are in the womb. When we come out, we don't believe in perfection or flaws. We believe in just being. We believe in acceptance of just being. We don't necessarily feel bad about shortcomings. We don't. It's this living of acceptance.
Right.
Is the best way to describe it. And this one is showing me a dove in her head. Anyways.
Peace.
So it's just, that's the lifestyle that we live, because when we also don't have as much media, propaganda, heresy.
That
when it comes to, we also don't have that when it comes to our culture. We don't have that. We also don't necessarily verbally communicate either, because we are all truly tapped in. We have what you have as well. All of you are connected just as we are. And that is the truth of the matter of the fact of it, is because y'all have, the way that it is set up is that there is a cord, an energetic cord behind all of you, and it ascends to your stratosphere. And in your stratosphere, it ascends back down. Okay. So all of you are connected. All of you are connected. All of you have the ability to do what we can do. However, you have had things block you, confuse you.
Well, we've been told we can't too, and we believe them. Or people will believe, but we're told we can't do.
I have some questions. So, I would like to know, like, are things going to start getting bad in the future? And what can we do to prevent some of these things?
Yeah, for the humans.
You are already doing a form of prevention. Okay. So when we started coming around, quite a time ago, when we started coming around, then only a few of us wanted to jump in the line when it comes to assisting humanity. And it has grown over time that we have, mostly all of us, have chosen to assist humanity in some way. So we make our presence known. And when I say the rest of us jumping in, or most of us jumping in, it's not just Plaedians. It would be other starseed families. We really, the Syrians do a heavy amount of work as well. Out of all of them, the top 3 would be Andromedan, Syrian, and Pleidian that work with humanity the most. And so there's already preventative measures that have been set in place. Will it get worse? What we are saying is that it has already hit its worst.
Good, I hope so.
And it keeps hitting that same level. So let's give you an example. So let's say you touch a hot stove. You touch that hot stove, you touch it for a second, and you touch it for a second, and then you go back and touch it for a second, right? You're going to have a very small burn. It's going to be around the same amount of pain, right?
Right.
But the longer that you hold on to it. So we have been taking your hand, humanity's hand, off of the hot stove. Instead of letting it sit there, we come in to lift it up. And that's what we've been doing for some time. And now there is a large amount of you who are doing that for yourselves and doing that for others. And we greatly appreciate it because we are trying to help humanity be self-sufficient in this sense.
Why do you want to help us? I'm curious. Why do you choose to help us? We need it.
Because the energy without this planet, the energy would be drained from other areas in this star system.
Interesting.
So everything has its own purpose and manner. So this one is showing me a car, and she's showing me an engine, and she's showing me windshield wipers and different things like that. So a car is only useful really if the engine works. So when it comes to the Earth, isn't necessarily the engine of this planetary system, the star system. It's not necessarily, but it's very vital for the amount of energy that it puts out.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of us who are unable to have extremes in emotions. Some of us have grown to have a very balanced energetic field around us. We tend to put out a very consistent frequency, mind you, because we don't have those extreme emotions, that extreme anger, that extreme joy, that euphoric feeling. We just feel good all the time. And it's a very balanced energy. And we like that. And we want others to feel that. So why do we go out of our way? Well, we need Earth. We also are not villainous. We are not villainous. We do wish well towards others because, and some of y'all are funny. Some of you are very,
that one is.
Especially those of you that get caught, and you get caught over and over again in your mind. We like to come in and stop you and distract you.
Do you ever come through as an animal, like a pet who might do that? Like I have a cat who does that. If I get in my head, he'll come up on me.
We use a wide variety of things, and beings as well, because your cat is definitely a being. And so we use a wide variety of things. We will come through electricity. We will come through in your own thought process. We will come through, and we will work. The cats listen better, to be honest with you. The cats listen way better than a lot of the other animals because for some reason they see us better than dogs, than foxes.
They're higher vibration. I feel like they have a higher vibration than some other animals. Like I feel a shock.
They're able to see us.
Seems to go faster. Yeah.
So you know when you see a cat, and it's not always us. I'm just giving you an example. You know when you see a cat and it's just staring at the wall and there's nothing there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That you?
That is always about, not always, but sometimes that is about making it known to you that there is an energy around.
Yeah.
That is what we try to use as a signal. And then also, of course, your loved ones who are still dancing around the earth. Well, they like to use that too, but cats have a better way of seeing. So someone needed to hear that.
So what can we do to better ourselves and start to help the planet as individuals?
Pardon me, this one got a call. Just give me 1 second. Sorry, I got a call, so I had to split up. So
snapped you out, yeah.
You are already on the path, but what else you could do that would be to, well, may I ask, do you mean on what level? On a physical level or energetic level? Because where we would suggest is the energetic level.
Okay, let's do that. Energetic level.
So that would be, which this sounds silly, but would be to laugh as much as possible. Pay attention to the music that you listen to. We understand that music is an art form, and we understand that music is a way of everyone expressing themselves, and we love that. However, when it is a song about pain, and you are expressing that pain that you feel, which is your own personal experience, into a song, and you are putting that song out for the rest of humanity to hear, and it gets played consistently. And what pain we talk about? Well, we talk about heartache. We talk about self-loathing, self-hate, hating of another, jealousy, betrayal. Those are the songs we speak of, because there are plenty of songs that are very, very
Don't
happy.
worry.
Be happy.
Don't worry, be happy. You guys would love that one if you haven't heard it.
But when it comes to what you can do, paying attention to the music that you listen to, paying attention to yourself and how you feel. Also paying attention to those around you. Can you make one another smile? It's little steps at a time when it comes to uplifting energy. It is not always a bazooka. And that is something that a lot of people have misunderstood, misconstrued, is that it's not a one and done. That's all. It is not. It is a consistent day-to-day thing. And we have explained that to all of you, and some of you have grasped that tightly. You say those positive things to yourself in the day. You sit there and you say positive things to other people, and you read and you pay attention to positive things, and you keep away from the ghastly gossip that goes around. Because if you are to speak, why not use it for good? And that is something that we do. We look at everyone as we are equal to you, you are equal to us. So that is how it is. That is how we view it. Not everyone views it that way, and we understand, but we are trying to at least do our part. Right. So when it comes to what you could do, is at least do your part. And of course, whatever there is a clearing out of your body, when there is a clearing out, when there is a releasing of fluids in some way, whether it is sweat or the other ones. What you could do is that you could do it with intention. You may want to try to do it more often. You may want to keep your system clear. For those of you that want to communicate with us, the best thing to do is to keep your system as clean as possible. Because we could come through, but we will come through and we will continue coming through. 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 And we will continue, because it's part of our purpose here, and why we exist is that we are here to help others around us who are unable to attain the lifestyle we have. Because in all honesty, it is painful for other species to come down and to see what you do to one another.
I can't imagine. I see it, and I'm on the planet, and I can't wrap my head around it.
I know, right?
You know, when we witness a war and all the horrible things that happen in your wars, and to see what goes on behind the scenes that is never made known to you, you would never want war again.
No, I don't want
to.
Yeah.
And so humanity has been pretty much beating itself up for a very long time. And why would you, if you saw someone that was physically assaulting themselves, you know, they were, this one's showing me like cutting their arm, or they
cutting, self-mutilation. Yeah,
pretty much. Yes. Let's just keep it there so we don't go dark. When we see, it's like humanity doing that to itself. And if you were to see someone doing that, wouldn't you want them to stop because of your good nature?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So that is how we view it. Now, what else you could do? Keep your system clean, pay attention to what you listen to, say uplifting things, and go around laughing with other people. And also, we do strongly recommend, there's something going on with your animal sanctuaries, with your, there we go, zoo, couldn't get the word, with your zoos, to spend more time with animals. And it's not just, we love the domesticated ones. We really, really love the domesticated ones. They're such good ones. But there's other ones that you could spend time with, because this is about humanity and the rest of the planet coming back into alignment with itself as well. There will be less storms. There will be less, this one is saying hurricanes. Anyways, we are getting tornadoes. There will be less chaos.
I have a question. I don't mean to interrupt, but you said we come back into harmony. Were we once in harmony?
Very much so. Yeah. Very much so. It was never documented due to Well, we could talk about documents through your history if you would like to, because most of them are not.
Whatever you want to teach us. And I mean, I'd like to know, I'd also like to know if you have any special messages for me or Misty while we're here. You know, we are learning about starseeds. I've studied them, but you're like the first person I've known who channeled a starseed to me. I do have a friend named Angelina who can channel them, but not like you're doing right now. She hasn't that I know of. So it's very cool to talk to you from my end. And of course, I want to ask if you have any messages for us or for our listeners that they might need.
I'll go ahead, and I do have one for you. They're saying that you deny your abilities at time. You do deny your own strength. Why do you do that?
Me or Misty? Both of us.
You specifically. It's not like you do it intentionally.
I don't know I'm doing it. Yeah.
You have gotten glimpses and moments that were aligned for you to realize your own strength. And you either brush it off or you deny it in some way. And we wonder why. We wonder why, because you have achieved such a level of energy and vibration that you have not achieved yet.
You know what I think it is? I kind of feel like I want to stay close to humans. In a way, I want to stay close to the human experience. And if I go too far into the energy and live that way, I won't be as close to the human experience anymore. So that's one reason I will. It's not self-doubts necessarily, but I don't want to get like so wrapped up in the energy and the work that I lose my humanity. You know, because it's what I'm supposed to be working on. If I lose it, then I want to work to make people happier and better world. You know, I think Misty's here for that too. And I also don't necessarily want to do it when I'm not sure and I haven't tried it before. So there's a little like, oh, I've never tried this before. But mainly I want to keep that human experience and not detach too much. Because I still got some stuff in here. If I detach, it's not healed yet. And I can't detach yet until all the stuff in me has been, I feel like has been healed and processed for my mind and my heart and everything.
You will never lose your humanity.
Yeah.
We treasure humanity for the way that they are and the fact that they are able to grow, they are able to evolve, they are able to learn and expand. And that's what you have done. So we just ask that because, and it's not always really good question. It's not always with your psychic abilities is the best way to word it. This is about your ability to make things happen, your ability to help others learn and to expand. And we understand that you have a very nice heart. You have a lot of humility and a very healthy heart. But there is nothing wrong with realizing your own strengths so that you can help others realize their own strengths and to accept that because you will never lose your humanity. Okay.
Thank you.
You never will. We know we don't expect you to. We don't want you to. We don't necessarily want to change anyone. What we want to do is to help, which can cause change, but it's just to get you back in track. And also to delay some things that have tried to surface up over the last 10 months. There's been some things that have tried to surface up in humanity, and we have been able to keep it down, keep it low. And we are trying to get you to be back to that independent space where you were.
I understand exactly what you're talking about.
So, but we want you to continue. We want humanity to continue. And we would never, ever ask, at least we would never ask for you to give it up or to.
Oh, no, I didn't feel like I was being asked to. I've always had this sensation like if I were to use energy in any way at my strongest potential, it would have to be a situation where I really wanted to heal someone or fix something or fix on myself or someone I loved or people like it would just come out, I think, at the right time. But I always thought of it as losing my humanity, and it's not. You just said it wouldn't be. I'd always still have that. So that's like, well, that makes sense. You know, I just never thought of it that way. I think it's shut down. Sometimes when I work with the energy too much, like I can't feel people as much as I used to with empathy because mine is my energy field's so strong. I can still tell if I let it down and let them, let their energy in. I also don't want to, I guess maybe when it goes back to the humble kind of feeling, I don't want to be the one to stand out doing things too. I don't want a lot of attention in that way. I would like to work in the like this on a podcast where you can deliver messages to people and share. And the people who listen to this and watch this, I feel like will get a lot out of this podcast from what you've given us already,
Mm-hmm. We understand that. Just make sure that you do not deny yourself.
Okay. I do a lot, actually.
We will take a question from Misty.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you have any messages for her?
Do you have any questions?
What am I here to do?
We are saying the same as what we said for her, but in a different sense. And for you, you are meant to help people to laugh.
She does make people laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And you are meant to step into that a little bit more. So I'm not. Do you bite your tongue?
Literally or physically? I mean, metaphorically.
Metaphorically. We say that because this one felt a tightness around her throat. And so speak up more. You're meant to speak up more. You're meant to elaborate more. You're meant to express your thoughts more. You're also meant to, there's something about you are able to put out this energy towards others where they feel understood and accepted. It's not necessarily just empathy. This is an actual gift that you have where people can come into your presence and be themselves. And believe it or not, a lot of people don't have that ability. It is an ability. And we would say a form of empathy, but we wouldn't title it just straight up empathy. It is a gift of presence in a way. So for you, do you write out your thoughts?
Sometimes.
Have you ever done a blog?
No.
We do suggest documenting your thoughts more often. We do suggest documenting, even if it may not seem like a big deal to you. It will be a lighthouse for others. And we do suggest that you step into that role more often.
She has a great outlet on the We're All Psychic blog. We need content, Misty. You can write all kinds of stuff in there. Yeah.
We do suggest that because it's this welcome energy that you are able to put out. And it's like putting your face on rose petals. It's very soft and welcoming. And so you asked what your purpose was. Well, that's part of your purpose. And it's to build on top of that. So you're definitely on the right path. Okay. And it's going from bricks to gemstones to golden bricks and to walking on clouds. So you have a very long process to go through, but it's this constant process of moving forward. Just express yourself more. Please do.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
This is awesome. So do you have a message for our listeners and watchers in general that you may be able to maybe make their day with? Make them feel a little good about themselves, because we all need to feel a little better about ourselves as humans.
There have been some fearful times for your species over the last hundreds of years. And we understand that fear is like what y'all would say is a cancer. And so we understand that it is a cancer. However, that does not mean that you have to feed into it and continue to let it spread. We do ask that along with the music, when it comes to any form of media, if it produces an emotion that spikes anxiety, causes you to be sad or depressed or angry to detach yourself from it immediately. If you wish to experience and read or listen to or view the media that is out there, nothing can stop you. But you can stop yourself from feeling a connection to it.
Yes, because that is not identifying with the entirety of the planet. That's just
right.
the bad
It's
stuff that's
supposed to be
going on that the
negative.
news is trying to do whatever with. They get more watchers with fear, and it's a shame.
They do. Yeah.
You're able to continue where you're. This law of attraction that a lot of you have heard about, and it is very, very real. When they asked earlier, they had asked me about why we do what we do. Why do we help humanity? And we're all connected. We really are. This one mentioned that she had picked up this family tree energy from us, and it's very accurate. And it's about how we have our own tree of species and energy. And so do you, but we are in the same soil together. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so we are able to be affected by you in the long run in a way, but that's not why we help. We help because we want to help. And so, and also to keep our universe going and growing the way that it has, but it's grown so much since Earth was made, and it's going to continue growing. Now, when it comes to this law of attraction, some say like attracts like. Everybody has, some say witchcraft, some say miracles, manifestation, whatever you may call it. We do ask for you to recognize the reality of it, that it is real. If you could spend 1 month where you do not focus on your problems and you focus on your successes, and this is in every arena of life. We do not care about your money. We do not care about your material objects. We don't even care about your crystals. So we don't care about it. We don't care. And we are talking about how you feel. Everyone is like, well, I manifested $1,000 here. I manifested this job opportunity. I manifested this and that. And that's very nice. That's very nice. And that's very good for you. But what has longevity? Emotions do. Emotions really, really do. And how you feel. Yeah. That house is only going to feel good for 10, 20, 30 years. That, and then, well, you might croak or move out or whatever it may be anyways, but emotions last beyond that and can travel from one lifetime to another, which I don't know if we have time to talk about past life situations, but we could talk about that in the future because, well, they're real. All of you have been recycled. All of you have been recycled. Okay?
I believe that.
So, but when it comes to what else humanity can do, spend that month focusing on your successes. I feel so good today. I just felt so good today. I felt so good smiling today. I felt so good living today. I love my life. I'm so grateful to love my life. We suggest you starting there. Right. And if it seems hard at first, don't beat yourself up. It's not a competition.
No.
Not a competition. This is about everyone. And if we could have a group in each nation rise up and maintain that positive frequency, that positive energy, that positive mindset, if you could do that, where it would take you, There's already been so many changes within humanity over the last 10 years alone. And this shift has been happening for a very long time. And we are finally seeing some results of the efforts that we have put in. And we are so grateful for those that do listen. And if you do not feel comfortable listening to us, we do understand because we are not familiar. And if you're not ready for what is not familiar, we will never pressure you to face it, to take it on. Others might, but we will not. We will not. We want you to be as you are. Because
how do we address you? How do we address you? You have a name? The Plaedian energy I'm speaking with now, is there a name that I can address you with?
We are a portion of what this one has heard is the High Council. The High Council is a mixture of different species that are not in the physical world, your physical world. So if you want to... Oh, this one cannot understand our name. Sorry. She is unable to communicate it.
That's okay. Can I name
So
you?
we have agreed to be called M. We have agreed to be called M.
Okay, M. So M, I would like to invite you and anyone from the High Council or anyone that you're in touch with of the we come back to the podcast and share some more messages with us, and talk to Jackie and see if she wants to do that. And we would love to have you back like once a month or something and share your messages with us.
We would love to, and we will drag her.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you so much for speaking with us and for joining us and for coming back. Thank you.
Thank you. It has been very fortuitous for many to hear this. And we are hoping that they are able to believe in themselves and expand themselves if this is where we leave off. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it will for now. Thank you. And I will see you again, hopefully, or hear you again. Feel you.
This has been very interesting.
This has been great. She's back. Oh, we love you, Jackie.
I'm fucking thirsty. They must have talked a lot.
They talked a lot, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. You did agree to come back once a month. M. They said they would like to be called M. When I asked them a name that they said this one referring to you couldn't pronounce it, so it would give it to us. So they just said to address them as M.
Oh yeah, let me tell you what they showed me, okay? Because this is the shit that they put me through. Oh, look at the cat. Look at the cat.
There's a gander. He's been around. Yeah.
They sat there and the name that they showed me was probably 100, like what I would call letters long.
Yeah.
And they kept showing me the letter M. Mm-hmm. And you said that they wanted to be called M.
M.
Well, yes. That makes so much sense to me. And that is so helpful to me because
I bet you can't wait to watch this again. Misty and listeners and watchers, she is so different now than when she was channeling.
I'm going to have to.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
You can't even wrap it up because you don't know what was said.
Well, I remember the visuals more than what was said. Really so cool. That's why, I remember one of the last things I saw was they showed me a really old piece of paper because they cut through a lot with visuals.
Yeah.
And they do speak through me, but if what they're trying to explain does not make sense to my mind, then there will be a visual that'll pop up to help me explain it.
Yeah.
Did you ask for their name?
Yes, I asked, what can I address you as? I said, I understand.
Oh, you did?
It said you explained that you're a we. And you're going to love watching this again. And the listeners and watchers, I think you're going to get a lot out of this.
Thank you for doing that, because I want to know.
And I invited them. I invited M back and she said, or they said that they would, I said, if Jackie's comfortable with it and you would like to come back. And they said, I just
don't want to see myself because I fell asleep during that. So I don't know.
No, you were looking you look up, you looked beautiful. You had this really peaceful, serene look, and your eyes were different, very different. Did you see that? The look in your eyes was different.
Her whole demeanor. And watchers, listeners, if you're watching, you'll see it if you want to watch the video of anyone who watched this video. I'm sure you noticed it. Yeah. And even your voice changed.
Well, I probably won't watch it then because that is the only thing that it's still okay. I'm being told by my spirit guides to make it clear. This is not possession.
No.
Possession is against will.
Yes.
This is channeling. And just like any kind of radio frequency, you could be on 96. Well, I live in Maine. So you could live in listen to 96.1 and it's that frequency. And then you could turn it and we all have that ability to do it. That's why it's when you said, oh, well, I am going to ask you to get it for all psychic. And I'm like, yeah. Anyways, yes.
I should have asked the Plaedians. Next time I'll ask I'll ask M if they think we're all psychic.
Yeah, no, they backed off. I actually feel a rush of wind on, and I have no windows open or anything like that.
Yeah.
I felt a rush of wind up my ankles into my knees from my pants. And I feel a lot lighter now. I don't feel heavy and dark when I'm in their energy, but I feel tired when I channel them.
Yeah.
I feel sleepy is how my body feels. So when they leave, they're still hovering, but they're not when I channel them, it's they are standing right next, they're standing right next to me. and they're right here. So imagine like you could feel like, you know, when someone's standing close to you, you could feel their energy.
Yeah.
It's like that, you know, but who I channeled, it was definitely pleasant. Hell yeah. I mean, I've channeled some other ones. I would say that the Syrians can be kind of fucking intense. The Andromedans are very like woo, like really are like airy fairy.
Yeah.
But I'm so grateful that the Pleidians chose to came through tonight because they are just so. I mean, I imagine that they were pleasant.
Well, they said they were the High Council. They said they were part of the High Council that came through.
Yeah, that's what I think I picked up on that before.
Yeah, yeah.
I knew that it was because I used to believe that the High Council was just Plaedian. And then I asked them at one point if it was more than just Pleiadians. And they said yes. And I didn't focus on it too much because I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean?
You got a lot all at once. So may as well keep asking the really interesting questions, right? Yeah. It was, that was really cool to be able to speak with the Plaedians and the High Council. So you'll be back next month. Apparently, they're going to tuck you into it if you're not already down for it.
It's almost 7. I did.
It's almost 6 here. We've been going for like a long time, so I guess we should wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining. It's just like I'm like.
This is one of the most fascinating podcasts we've ever done. To me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and thank you so much, Jackie. Thank you so much to the galactic beings who chose to speak with us today. Yes. And listeners, we got to thank Everclear, of course. Everclear is our sponsor. Everclear is an app where you can get advice from psychics and empaths, so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve.
You deserve.
You deserve it.
You deserve.
And you're an advisor on Everclear, aren't you, Jackie?
Yes, I'm an advisor on Everclear. I was
going to say, they can find you. Where can listeners? You said you have a YouTube channel. Where can they find you?
Yeah, it's Rebel Tarot now. I cut out the angel's name because I was told to for some reason. So I was like, but I'm not just I don't just channel angels. I channel a wide variety of energy. Yeah. So it was it's Rebel Tarot. But.
Yeah, I love it. Okay. And listeners and watchers, I'll put all this information in the description so you can go find out more. I probably will be watching a lot of these. So, and of course, Misty, thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Jackie, thank you. And listeners and watchers, we love you. Thank you for everyone that came in. And we will see you soon tomorrow. We have another podcast tomorrow. We have the podcast with I can't talk. The host of A Psychic Story. Misty invited her to be on the podcast, and she's going to be on. We're going to be recording her tomorrow. So
that sounds awesome.
Yeah,
that sounds good.
Fun. So thank you again, and everybody have a great time wherever you may be. Peace and out.
Bye.
Bye.